So today I'm going to show you a strategy that I would use to think about different seeds that I might be able to then expand into my own memoir. This is what I consider to be strategy one. So I've just taken my writer's notebook, and of course I've placed the word seeds, and you can be as fancy or as simple as you'd like. And then I'm going to use sticky notes to capture some of my thoughts. So what I'm thinking about is moments in my life that either are, that stand out, or that seem to have been pivotal. So the first one that I can think of is I went through Hurricane Andrew, and that was in 1992. I was only 10 years old, but it was extremely difficult to go through. So when I think about this moment in my life, the first thing that comes to my mind was the night of. We had my Aunt Diane's tortilla soup, and it was so good, and I've had it many times after, but I remember it just being the biggest pot of soup that was supposed to be comforting, and as soon as we had started to eat, a piece of wood flew through the window and scared us, of course, so we ran to the hallway. So that specific smell and taste and memory brings back that night. Another thing that I think about when I go back in my head is that we were in the hallway for a very long time, almost all night, and the water would rise, and we would be sitting in it as if it was flooding, but it wasn't enough to, sweep us away or anything. We were just sitting in water. I remember my dog sitting next to me, and I don't think he was very comfortable at all, but that was another strong memory. Another thing I think about is that when we opened the door after the hurricane had passed, I looked on the outside wall of the house, and there were grass blades painted, it seems, on the wall, as if somebody had purposely picked each one out of the yard and pasted them to the side of the wall of the house. And I thought it was such an odd thing that the wind could do, such a delicate thing, when it sounded like a monster that night. Another thing that's very vivid in my memory is there were boats upside down in the street. And the street was full of water, so it just seemed like an odd place for a boat to be, but the wind had tilted it over. Another thing that I can think about is that there were even cars on roofs. It just felt like another world when we opened that door that morning. So I just sort of brainstormed what popped out, what exactly came into my memory. I could also think about right after Hurricane Andrew, and I've already done this, so I'm going to just set it here for time, moving from Florida to Georgia. I used to do dance choreography with my sister to the song Like a Prayer by Madonna, and that song came on in the van on the way up here. So I remember putting that down. Another moment in my life that was important was my first time to New York, and I was overwhelmed with many different aspects, especially how many people are in New York. And then, what's the wrong one? I remember first grade. First grade was pretty intense for me because I had just gotten brand new glasses, and I was so self-conscious of what people might have thought wearing my new glasses. I know that you might see that I put down stealing kittens. I'm not a thief, but I was not allowed to bring cats home, and I found kittens and did anyways. Of course, that didn't last long, but I remember doing that very, very vividly. So this is a strategy you could try in your notebook by just putting down some sticky notes and thinking about things that pop out to you, and then collecting a couple of details about those things. I want to show you strategy 2 now.